I want him where he's at, locked up and stay.
This is the story of Jasmine McHenry, a 29-year-old mother of two, who was shot and killed by her partner, Thomas Wilson Alexander, age 32. She was murdered in cold blood in front of her 9-year-old daughter. Jasmine was his common-law wife, but that did not stop him from shooting her 3 times due to a domestic dispute while her daughter was on phone trying to report the couple arguing to her grandma.
I heard her in the background when she called me, said he's gonna shoot her. And then that's when I got in my vehicle and went over there.
Hello and welcome to Twisted Crimes. Subscribe and hit the like button for more stories.
A traumatic experience for a little girl who called her grandmother for help before witnessing her own mother's murder.
This story will be taking us to Houston, Texas. Houston is a large metropolis in Texas, extending to Galveston Bay. Houston is home of NASA and is the largest city in Texas. It is the second fastest growing U.S. city, behind New York. Home to world-famous Clutch Rockets, the Houston Texans, NASA, lush reserve parks, pristine bayous, and Queen Bay herself, Houston is one of the most diverse, charming, and unique cities in the United States. Jasmine McHenry was born on April 15, 1994, in Houston, Texas. She was the youngest of 4 children in her family. Her parents, James and Cynthia Demerson, raised her with love and care and taught her the values of kindness, honesty, and faith. She had a happy childhood, surrounded by her siblings, cousins, and friends. She attended Westbury High School and graduated with honors in 2012. She was a smart and hardworking student who excelled in academics, sports, and extracurricular activities. She was also a friendly and popular person who made friends easily and was well liked by her peers and teachers. She had a passion for helping others and decided to pursue a career in nursing after graduation. She enrolled in a nursing program at a local college and completed her studies in 2016. She then became a registered nurse at a local hospital, where she worked in the emergency department. She loved her job and was committed to providing the best care to her patients. Jasmine was also a devoted mother to her 2 beautiful children who were the light of her life, and she did everything to make them happy. She enjoyed spending quality time with them, playing games, reading stories, watching movies, and going to the park. She was proud of their achievements and supported their dreams. She also had a close and loving relationship with her mother, Cynthia Demerson, who was her role model and best friend. They often talked on the phone, visited each other, and went shopping together. She had a bright smile and a bubbly personality that made everyone around her happy. She was kind-hearted, generous, fun-loving, and adventurous. She liked to travel to new places, shop for clothes and accessories, dance to her favorite songs, and listen to music of different genres. According to family members and court records, Jasmine McHenry and Thomas Wilson Alexander had been in a tumultuous relationship for at least 3 years. They met through a mutual friend and started dating in 2020. They lived in an apartment complex at 2020 Bentworth Drive in Houston, along with 9-year-old Azariah, who was from a previous relationship. Jasmine's other child was a 3-year-old son named Aiden, whom she had with Thomas, who was born in 2021. Thomas was a 32-year-old man who had a history of domestic violence and criminal behavior. He had been arrested several times for assaulting his ex-girlfriends and violating protective orders. He also had a pending charge of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon for allegedly shooting at another man in 2022. He had a gun that he kept illegally and used to intimidate and threaten Jasmine and others. He was abusive and controlling towards Jasmine, and often threatened to harm her or take away her children if she tried to leave him. He also isolated her from her family and friends and prevented her from working or pursuing her education. He was jealous, paranoid, and manipulative. Jasmine was afraid of Thomas, but she also hoped that he would change and become a better partner and father. She loved him despite his flaws and believed that he had some good qualities. She tried to help him with his anger issues and drug addiction and encouraged him to seek counseling or treatment. She also tried to protect her children from his violence and keep them happy. She often prayed for peace and strength and relied on her faith and her mother for support. On Sunday, June 11, 2023, At around 7:55 p.m., Jasmine and Thomas got into an argument inside their apartment. The exact reason for the dispute is unknown, but it may have been related to Thomas's jealousy, drug use, or financial problems, as he had been abusive and controlling towards Jasmine for a long time. The argument escalated quickly and turned violent. Thomas allegedly pulled out a gun that he had hidden in his waistband and shot Jasmine 3 times in front of her daughter Azariah, who was in the same room. He then pointed the gun at Azariah and threatened to kill her too, but she managed to run away and hide in another room. Azariah witnessed the horrific scene and was terrified and traumatized. She called her grandmother, Cynthia Demerson, who lived nearby, using Jasmine's cell phone. She told her that Thomas had shot her mom and that she needed help. She also told her that Aiden was asleep in his crib and that she was scared for him. Aiden had no idea what was happening. Cynthia rushed to the apartment and found Jasmine lying on the floor with gunshot wounds to her chest, abdomen, and leg. She was still alive but barely breathing. She had lost a lot of blood and was in shock. Cynthia called 911 and tried to perform CPR on Jasmine until the paramedics arrived. However, it was too late. Jasmine was pronounced dead at the scene by the Houston Fire Department. Thomas fled the scene after the shooting and drove away in his car. He did not care about his son or his girlfriend's life. He only cared about himself and his freedom. He was later arrested by the police after a brief chase and charged with murder.
A traumatic experience for a little girl who called her grandmother for help before witnessing her own mother's murder. ABC 13's Jessica Willey talked with the family and is at jail.
Yeah, the accused murderer, the little girl's stepfather. Tonight he was in court, bond set at $1 million, much higher than what the state requested after 2 little children lost their mother.
My family is heartbroken.
In a room crowded with grieving relatives, 9-year-old Azaria fights back tears.
I'm a mess about how all the times we always need to play together.
The little girl finds comfort at her grandmother's side.
Alpha Bravo.
24 hours earlier, she was calling her for help.
My mom told me to call my grandma, and she told my grandma that Thomas pulled out a gun, and my grandma came.
Cynthia Demerson rushed to the apartment on Bentworth off Briar Forest last night. In that same phone call, she says she heard the voice of her daughter, Jasmine McHenry.
I heard her in the background when she called me, said he's going to shoot her. And then that's when I got in my vehicle and went over there.
By the time she arrived, it was too late. Jasmine was dead and Azaria had witnessed it.
I told the police that my stepdad shot my mom.
Thomas Wilson Alexander, Jasmine's common-law husband, was arrested and charged with murder.
You're charged with the first-degree felony offense of murder.
Monday night, he was in court. Bond was set at $1 million, 10 times higher than what the state requested. The hearing officer saying he was a danger to the community. He also heard the allegations against him.
The complainant had been shot 3 times. Twice in the head at close range.
The couple had been together for at least 3 years, relatives say. They share 3-year-old Aiden, but Azaria also called him Dad. Jasmine was a devoted mother and kind-hearted. Her family saw nothing in Alexander, they say, that could have predicted this.
I have no idea why he did it, and I want to know why he did it.
She will now raise her daughter's children and seek justice.
I want him where he's at, locked up and stay.
He is currently being held on a $1 million bond at the Harris County Jail. He faces life in prison or the death penalty if convicted. He has shown no remorse or regret for his actions. The aftermath. Jasmine's death has left her family and friends devastated and heartbroken. They are struggling to cope with the loss of their beloved daughter, sister, mother, and friend. They are also trying to support Azariah and Aiden, who are now orphaned by their father's actions. They have set up a GoFundMe page to help with the funeral expenses and the children's education.
A moment of silence.
Okay, go.
Mara.
Okay, she want to dedicate this to her big cousin Jazz.
Until we meet again.
Speak louder, baby.
We think about you always. You have never been forgotten, and you never will. We hold you close within our hearts, and there you will remain to walk and guide us through our lives until we meet again.
All right. Okay, on the count of 3, we're going to release the balloons, and we're going to let our baby know we love him. We're going to turn up to the max off that hen. 1, 2, 3. We love you, Jazz! Yeah! 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 She dancing! She dancing! She dancing! Stop playing! She dancing, baby! She dancing, baby!
Azariah is traumatized by what she saw and heard that night. She suffers from nightmares, flashbacks, and anxiety. She told ABC 13 that she misses her mom every day and that she wishes she could hug her again. She said that she loves her mom very much and that she was her best friend. She also said that she is scared of her dad and that she never wants to see him again. Aiden is too young to understand what happened to his mom, but he knows that she is gone. He often asks for her and cries when he doesn't see her. Cynthia has taken custody of both children and plans to raise them as her own. She said that she will do everything in her power to give them a good life and to honor Jasmine's memory. She said that Jasmine was a wonderful person who did not deserve to die like that. She said that Jasmine was a loving mother, a caring daughter, a loyal sister, and a faithful friend. Cynthia also said that she wants justice for Jasmine and hopes that Thomas will pay for what he did. She also said that he had no right to take away her life and hurt her children and that he is a monster and a coward who deserves to rot in jail. We hope Jasmine McHenry gets the justice she deserves. Our sincere condolences to the friends and families of Jasmine McHenry. May Jasmine's memory be a blessing for her family and for all who knew her, and may her life and death be an inspiration and a turning point towards justice and increased protection for domestic abuse survivors. Please stay safe out there and see you guys in the next video.